Welcome back to Aussie Throttle Jockeys. New day, new project. We're going to get the BMW up and running again. Just going to go through what we think is wrong with it. It's had this problem before, so hopefully it's pretty easy to sort out. So the problem I've been having is while I'm on the racetrack, I'll be coming up around a corner, usually on a corner, not on a straight, and as I give it some accelerator, all of a sudden the throttle bodies stop working, which is not a good thing, extremely dangerous. What we think is the problem is that the connectors to the throttle bodies, the electric connectors, have corrosion on them. So the throttle body is a fly-by-wire throttle body. There is cables that go all the way to the throttle body, but then they basically operate a position sensor, and then that position sensor feeds back to the ECU. The ECU then tells a servo exactly what throttle percentage to give it. So I can give it 100%. It may only decide that 70% is all I need. And chances are it's probably right, because yeah, I've smoked enough tires on this thing. I've had to turn the traction control on a bit just to stop it sliding around. So yeah, it's definitely holding back throttle for me, which is a good thing. But at the moment, with that problem where it's not even actuating the throttle, we've got a very big problem. So I'm going to dig in, get to those connectors. We're going to have a look at all of them, check the wires, make sure there's no issues with the connectors on them, and we're going to make sure that everything's grounded and earthed correctly, because that can also be a big problem with electrical stuff on vehicles in general. Let's tear into it. So I pulled off the throttle bodies the other day. They all look fine. The connectors here, they all look fine. So did a bit of research, found out that if the TPSs have any issues, it will throw an error code. Now, according to my tuner, didn't have any error codes when he tuned the bike. So most likely, again, doing more research on the internet, there's only one thing that will cut the fuel and spark on this bike without throwing an error code, which theoretically will make the throttles not work at the same time, and that's the quick shifter. So most likely might have a problem with the quick shifter, might be a bit sensitive. We can maybe look at adjusting the sensitivity on that. So today we're going to get that all back together. We'll check the connectors on the quick shifter, might as well while it's all apart. But first, we're going to do what we should do at the beginning of every good project and procrastinate. And we're going to go for a ride on our street bikes instead. So first thing we've got to do is clean the Super Duke because it's filthy. Okay, one very filthy Super Duke here. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh shit, more here. Yep. Filthy as. Here's Colin. Okay, pub time. Then we'll work on bikes. So, as per usual, life got in the way the other day. We didn't get to come back and do some work on this, so we're here today. I have had a look at this quick shifter. It does look like there was an issue with it. There was a slightly damaged wire. I've fixed that up, just did a quick solder job on it. Hopefully that's it. If not, when I go to the track next time, I might try disconnecting it altogether and running it without a quick shifter, and that hopefully will diagnose whether or not that's a problem. Next thing we're going to do is change the handlebars on this thing. It's still running OEM handlebars. They're a little bit high for my liking. I've got some new ones. The other thing is these ones, for me, occasionally they'll slip. So the new ones have got 3 bolts, or 3 clamping bolts. Hopefully that makes it impossible for them to slip and turn, especially when doing a wheelie or something. Let's get onto it. Okay, so we've got the first one on. This side's nice and easy. It's just that one bolt there. You've got to drill a hole through the handlebar. Now the other side's giving me a bit of grief. We come over here. To get the throttle tube off, you've got to get that screw out, which is usually got this on the back of it, and the other bit of that switch is over here on the front of it. So to get at, other way around, to get this apart, to undo those 2 screws from the back, which are tiny, T8 Torx there. Pull off the back cover, disconnect the wires. The first one, this screw here, is usually obscured by the wires that are in there. So, right pain in the ass to get at it, but we're almost there. Okay, handlebars are on. I've still got to do some setup to get them in the right positions, but I'm pretty happy with that. Time to do what I've been procrastinating about and get those throttle bodies back in. Okay, let's hope I've wired it all up, back up properly, put all the right connectors in the right places. Fuel's on. In theory, this should start. Nope. Okay, let's find out what we did wrong. Okay, it's all wired up. Let's find out if she starts. Sounds good so far. Sounds like I've got a dead battery. Let's get a jumper pack on and try this again. Okay, 1 jump pack attached. Let's give this a go again. Okay, time to put some handlebars on this thing. First thing you're going to do is cut out the ends of these. Okay, they're done, ready to go. Now to rip this other one off. Okay, now we've got 2 different diameters here. That's a small one, that's a large one. Large one goes on the throttle body, small one goes on the handlebar. Now my way of doing this is to steal some of my wife's hairspray, give it a good freaking spray, give it a good spray in there, slide the thing on, good as gold. As soon as that dries up, it'll be tight as other one. Same thing. Right, we'll get some Loctite onto them in a bit and they should be good to go. Next thing, front brake protection. It'll go on there. It'll stop other people being able to play with the front brake lever. Usually that's unintentional, but we've all seen Roman Finati have a crack, haven't we? Grabs the Allen keys. In that goes. Bring that up. Okay, she's in. Now let's get this handlebar sorted. Let me get this back together and then let's do some handlebar setup. Something you might notice about my bike, it does have a full like fluid catch system on it. So that hose there comes up from my radiator overflow. That's one of my fuel tank overflows. That's the other one, and it all gets injected straight into my airbox. So the whole, while this thing's drawing air, the whole thing runs at a vacuum. So anything that leaks goes straight in my engine. Whether or not that's good or not, definitely better than putting fluid on the track. Okay, handlebar set up. Now, get your handlebars out straight. Now, when we look at most MotoGP riders and all that, they love them really far forward and really flat. That also means that if you want to go around the corner, you can twist your wrist a bit further, get that elbow out a bit further. So the idea is to get it as far forward as we possibly can. Okay, now, that's definitely going to come back a bit. It's hitting the fairing. That worked well, moving the reservoir to the handlebar there. Much better. Keeps it down, keeps it low. Gets my body further down. Allows me to tuck in quite nicely. Not this one, but that one hits the brake lever. Let's go. Yeah, can't believe I'm doing this.
Tighten these handlebars up if you're riding tomorrow.
So, we have cut that bracket off and cut that bracket off, and now my front brake lever can't hit anything anymore. I can come up a bit. So that should be perfect. And now we're going to get this bike back together because tomorrow I'm doing a track day. Okay, so we're all loaded up and ready to go. We're going to go to the track today, find out if these changes have fixed things, if I've got that quick shifter working, and if these new handlebars help out with my body position and give me a bit better front end feel on the bike. Going to cut off this video here, stay around, find out the results of that track day soon enough. Till the next video, keep it pinned.